Usually I have a bunch of interesting news articles saved up, but I've pretty much just tweet them out. Every day I tweet out about 10 or so interesting news things that I find. They're not always game related, sometimes they're just tech related, but I do throw about 10 or so out a day. So if you won't follow me on Twitter, you might want to. I put them up on Facebook as well. Okay. Well, like a lot of the stuff that I'm thinking of, like are going to be very basic games to start off with. Maybe something like tic tac toe or something like that. Well, probably tic tac toe probably won't be first. Like a single player type games until the community starts developing a little bit more. Then we'll maybe move into multiplayer games or something like that. You've never used Twitter? It's okay. Like when I first started using Twitter, it was kind of like why would anyone use this type thing? Uh, the more people I wanted to follow, the more people I added, the more it would just I don't know. It just seemed messy and convoluted to me. But then I learned about groups, or not groups, but lists. So I have a bunch of people in a Unity 3D list. So when I click on that list, I see just the stuff that they're talking about, and it's all focused on, well, generally Unity 3D. It's focused on the people that I put in it, whatever they say. So I could have like a Unity 3D list. I could have my Empire Avenue list. I could have whatever list you can think of, kind of like it circles in Google Plus. Not near as good as Google Plus, but Twitter's kind of like that. To me, it's more of a sharing thing. Like, basically, if you look at the way I use my Twitter, I find something interesting, I send it out. That's kind of like what interesting is for me. Yeah, like a lot of people use Twitter as the news source. So, yeah. There's actually, they have Google News built into Google Plus. They changed the name to Sparks, or maybe it's just Spark. I think it's just Spark. But you can set up different news profiles, and as you click on those profiles, anything that's in Google News will show up there. I'm not sure if they actually call it Google News. That's what I've always called it. But anyway, does anyone here not have a Google Plus account? Okay, so a few people don't have one. Okay, we might try to get you set up with one by next week. When I put the form up, we'll try if they're still not open to public invites. Try somehow to get you in there because I think it is a really good way to share stuff with a group, the small group. Yeah, they constantly open up invites and shut them down again. So you've got to get your invite and get in while that window's open. Okay. That saves me trying to gather email addresses. Just to be safe, I would use a Gmail address. It seems that the people that I have invited that don't use Gmail addresses, or sorry, that had an email address and like a regular Gmail address, then um, it always defaults to their Gmail address. So I just go out and get one anyway. If you don't plan on ever using it, it might still just get it to be invited. Yeah, I think you still need to be invited in right now, but they're letting more and more people in. There's actually a waiting list as well. I have absolutely no idea how that works. I got invited in quite a while ago when it was first coming out. I just didn't use it too much. All the people that I communicated with weren't on it yet, so I checked it out and it was like, looks kind of cool, but no one here to talk to that I know. But now that more and more people are showing up, I would definitely jump in. Even if you're not into the whole Facebook type thing, uh, you might actually, for doing these projects, use it, and you might actually find, it is a really good thing for you. Okay, well, we can try to get some of you hooked up with it The next time I will maybe set some email list up or something like that. And the next time invites that we hear that they're open, maybe spam out a bunch of invites and see if we can't get you in. Because I think it will be really good for these projects. All right. I don't even have my iPad down here, so I can't say anything about news. Whenever I can. For a while, I was going to try to start doing them every Saturday, but I need someone to watch my son. I cannot have my son down here running around while I'm doing the live show because he just destroys everything. He's 2 years old and just wants to get into everything and climb everything, and you probably can't see it here, but for the other people that have been here before, I've got a lot of bookshelves in here. And he likes to climb the bookshelves and just kind of like pull everything off. And then I end up spending hours putting it all back, and then he comes back down, and 5 minutes later, all the books are off the shelves again. And it's just like like you can only see one half of my desk. The other half is just completely cluttered from him just destroying stuff. I've lost my pen to my tablet again because he came down and picked it up, and I don't know where he put it again. So, yeah, having a 2-year-old in the house. One of the main reasons why I moved into this room was because it was just easier to keep him out of it. So I've got like a whole floor to myself down here. It can be. It's not too bad when I'm upstairs. I can get him, like if I'm either on the main floor or the top floor, if I get him to play nicely or just concentrate on doing something else, I can usually bring my laptop or use one of the computers on the other floors to get stuff done. But down here is just way too many distractions for him. I have his little horse down here, which I feel really bad because his grandparents bought it for him, and he really likes it. But it looks stupid sitting in the middle of our living room, so it's down here. And he'll get on it, ride it for like 5 minutes, and it's just like, oh, books, So, anyway. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I usually have a bunch of news articles that I talk about now, but since I've started using Twitter so much, I just throw them out as I find them during the day. Like I probably read about 20 or 30 news articles, and I just take the ones that I really liked and just tweet them out for everyone to read. And they're also on my Facebook page, majority of them. So if you don't like Twitter, like some people just don't like to leave Facebook, which is fine, you can find them there. Okay, I just realized D2. Regularly visit plus.google.com and check the bottom of the login box. They'll have a join button when they have it open. So that might be worth checking out. I get an email when you start following me, so I can follow you back. Yeah, I've recorded it. Trying to get back in the habit of recording all of them. So I don't actually mind recording them. It's just I can make like a 1 hour recording, but it takes like 5 hours to, like edit and put it all back together and everything else. And I don't want to upload just a 1 hour video to YouTube. I like to break it up into sections because not everyone, maybe people just want to sit around and listen to the questions and, the questions and answer section. And that might, as we have like in the past, had them go all throughout the video. So I just edit them out and kind of group them all together. And of course, any of the really big questions I can put out, like, what was it, that little fact thing I put out where the first and only episode so far is basically how to learn C#. I meant to add more, I haven't got around to it. It's one of the main reasons why I got my little spiffy camera. If people have a camcorder, I'd highly recommend going out and spending $20 on one of these Gorilla tripods. I absolutely love it. Now, I did not get the magnetic one, and I regret it already. I do have a magnetic one too. It's a red one. This one here is not magnetic. I just let it sit on my desk. But the magnetic one is just so much better. If you're around metal, that is. If you're just around wood, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I love these tripods. They may not look all that nice, but they're pretty sturdy. And the fact that you can bend them and wrap them around things. Anyway. Were there any other questions? So does everyone like the bigger chat box for the people that were here before? Because the chat box used to be quite a bit thinner. It used to be the size of, because I got rid of the sidebar. Now all the stuff that we had in the sidebar before, I still have to kind of figure out where I want to put it. But, all right, see you later, Borat.